the different healing methods that I use. So, as most of you know, I'm an energy healer, and I'm healing. You know, this has been a passion of mine from childhood, and I've advanced my education in it and so forth. So in this video, I'm going to describe the different healing methods that I use, and there are methods from my methods that you can adopt on your own without, connecting with a third party, which can have tremendous positive results. So I'll discuss that in this video. So I would just like to ask you a great favor. If you like the contents of my videos, uh, please also remember to like and subscribe to my channel. This will greatly enhance the reach of my videos to more people. And I would really be, thankful and thank you, a lot for that. For those who don't know me, I am Osman. I'm a bioenergy healer with telepathic capabilities, specializing in critical care recovery and terminal illnesses, amongst a host of other physiological, psychological, and even spiritual ailments. To that end, I'm now offering a special 10-minute anxiety fix for just $5. Right? I'm also an advanced level yoga and meditation teacher. Um, um, having been practicing this art for almost 50 years, and got I've been teaching the science for 44 years. And in that period, I've studied under various masters from different schools of thought, from different cultures and across the globe. And I gleaned out what I feel is most powerful and effective, and created my own protocols. And to that end, I now have students in over 100 countries. And also, my favorite protocol is my 5-minute yoga and meditation program, which you can download for free in exchange to subscribing to my blog from my website, yogawellness786.com, where you can also get more information about my services and my contact information, right? For my 10-minute uh, anxiety fix for $5, right? So also remember, my therapies are all natural based and not a replacement for medical treatment. Right? So I like to reiterate that the different healing methods that I use, these are all not replacements for medical treatment. When you have something serious, or you are ill, always consult with a doctor. Even if you feel it's minor, consult, get a second opinion. Unless, of course, a doctor is not reachable, or you can't afford. I don't know what your circumstances are, but as far as possible, if it's possible, try to seek medical attention. So from the healing methods that I use, the first and the most important one is nutrition. So Hippocrates, all medical doctors, when they qualify, they take the Hippocratic oath. This is the oath, swearing on Hippocrates, who's considered like the father of medicine. And he said, let let food be your medicine, and medicine be your food, right? Something like that, paraphrase. But let thy food be thou medicine, and let thy medicine be thy food. Something like that, maybe. It went. So it, I'm not a very intelligent, bright person, right? It took me 2 years to understand what that means. Because why? When you reverse it, what's the difference between food be your medicine or medicine be your food, right? So to quickly, if there is a minority of people, like me, I know this day and age, if there's a lot of bright sparks, right? And the intelligence level of people is very high. It's very easy. But just bear with me. There are some people like me as well, who needs clarification on a thing like that. And it's like a mind bending a bit, because like word jugglery. So let food be that means, let that the food, the choices that you make, by eating healthy and so forth, not only is it a food for you, but it's also gonna help to keep you healthy. Wise choice. So follow the advices of doctors, and they say stay away from this and stay away from that, is bad for you and bad for you, and it's going to be harmful in the long. And many people are already diabetic and sick, and the doctor say don't eat this, don't, and they go ahead and they still eat the same thing. Say, what can I do? I'm so addicted. I love my sweets, I love my chocolates, and and the eating, and it's you're not supposed to do it, especially like neuropathy, like sugar and refined sugars and all is forbidden, right? So you can try to go on a practical route and so forth, but when you're making wise choices with your food, this is a medicine. This is the number one healing method, right? The number one healing method. Cut out, the harmful things, right? Reduce fast food to 20%, right? I'm not saying make it zero. Reduce preserved foods and all to 20%, right? As far as possible. And try to eat wholesome foods. I'm not saying eat only vegetable, but wholesome meats, wholesome chicken, wholesome, not chicken nuggets and things, fish in a box and so forth, if you can get fresh, this thing and fresh vegetables and so forth, not in a can, canned beans and so forth. And I don't know your circumstances, canned tuna and so forth, is try to keep that to the 20% and 80% fresh wholesome foods, right? And of course, I would recommend a generous plant-based portion, in your diet. To rule of thumb, follow a 70% of your plate to have plant-based wholesome foods, whole foods from the plant-based source, and 30% on the animal kingdom, right? So I'm being practical. Although myself, my personal dietary choice is whole foods, plant-based, right? So this helps because I can understand the energy level of food, and I can sense the subtle energies from the different foods, and it's more energizing for me. But a lot of people having purely carnivore diet is more energizing for them also. I'm just making a caveat. I'm not telling. I don't want in YouTube to create a statement that everyone now suddenly drops meat out and then it could be harmful for you. You have to, whatever diet you're following, every 6 months, go for a checkup and see the labs, what you are lacking in and so forth, right? Because your dietary choice, when you leave out important things, like I not having dairy or, any meat, fish, chicken, eggs, even nothing, right? So I may need to supplement, but fortunately, I'm fine, right? I'm not even in need of B12, and so forth. So, this is important. Number one healing method is your dietary choices. Number two is let medicine be your food. The second half, right? So the first part, let thy food be thy medicine, right? Is I explained that, and let food be your medicine. So when you get certain illnesses, you can get herbal remedies, things that are edible, like certain herbs, that you have to start consuming more of, that can help to to repair whatever harm you have. And typical example number one practically is Dr. Brooke Goldner. You can search for her in Google. She's got her website is goodbyelupus.com, and there's a lot of free information. All is free. You can, from your supermarket, what to choose, what you eat, and she's got very high success rate in recovering illnesses that reach point beyond the recovery stage, where medicine can only do so much, right? But you need to do some things on your own also, right? Your lifestyle choices, your psychology, how you handle depression and stress, all these are factors. The medicine can't cure all those things. You need to do something on yourself, right? So this is very, very powerful. If you go and visit a YouTube channel and see, all the testimonies and so forth, it will blow your mind, where they're using food, purely only food as the medicine, right? So of course it's very difficult to live like that, permanently, but only when you're sick and till you recover, right? And what the problem areas are, and just cut the problem areas and slowly adjust back to as normal a diet as you possibly can. And I don't know how that is possible after you've had something, some very serious illness, right? You have to take your illnesses seriously, because don't worry about whether you will die or not die, right? Worry about the people you leave behind. How is it going to affect them with you not being there? They may be treating you badly, but it's people love you, right? It's You're going to devastate a lot of lives, right? Maybe they're not visiting you regularly, not telling you they love you and giving you the hug that you need and so forth, but I promise you, in your funeral, there's not going to be zero people. and not going to be zero tears, right? Very rarely is going to be zero. I haven't attended a funeral where there were zero tears, right, to date. And even maybe there they no tears physically, but people have cried. You can see they were crying. And weeping. Even the worst of people, they have people weeping for them, right, and crying for them, right. So consider that. So in terms, so your dietary choices, and to choose like choices. And there's also people proficient in herbal medicines and ayurvedic medicines and Chinese herbs and so many herbal remedies and so forth. Don't exclude that. Don't I already started, right? Always put seeking medical advice first, right? And whatever you're going to use from the supplements, ask your doctor, because sometimes it could clash with your medications, and it might be harmful for you. Because these things are available over the counter, supplements and vitamins and all that, doesn't mean they're all safe. You can overdose, or it may clash with some symptom that you may have, that certain type of micronutrient could be harmful for you. Always check with your doctor, right? So I've mentioned two, right? The third method is like with the energy healing that I do, right, in my protocol, is by transferring the energy by touch. So I'm using the Chinese method called Qigong, right? It is very similar to Reiki, but Reiki is about 100 years old or something. But Qigong is 1,500 years old. I learned it from the Shaolin Temple from Beijing, China. You can even go to Beijing, China, and there is schools, right, teaching Qigong. And you can get official certifications that is accepted, in the US as well, right? Certifications that you're a healer. Not that that type of certifications are required in the US for you to practice, they are but flexible. So I use with touch, energy healing, Qigong energy healing with touch. Wherever the pain point is with touch, and in the touch method, not only by placing my palm on that area, sometimes it needs for me to knead the muscle, because there is like hardened knots. The lymphatic system becomes hard like knots. So I have to knead it with my thumb, and including passing energy into it, because just kneading with the thumb doesn't work. It's like a very slow, but when I push energy, it's like this disappears under my finger, and people would decades of pain. It gets relieved. An arm that was painful, one patient of mine was painful for 34 years, right? And she tried all medical methods, and she went across the world, and no one could fix it. And I fixed it in one session. It was a long session, though. Energy level was not that high at that time. It took me about 4.5 hours, to do the energy massage and touching, right? For those who can come to me, especially it's very effective with chakra and blocking, that I put my hand, but the energy comes from the center of the palm, right, by touch. I do it and I put it in the third eye region. And then the third eye region is connected to the pineal gland. And the pineal gland, it controls all the energy functions of the entire body, right? So I use that hack, right, in my energy healing, right? So I'm giving you all the secrets, right? And then I also can do the energy healing where you don't touch the person's body. You can do above it, because there's some parts of the body, especially you're dealing with, the opposite sex sensitive areas and so forth. It's still equally effective when I'm rolling my hand, like over that area, right? And you don't. And some cultures, they don't want a man to touch, and if it's a woman, I always try to get a second person to be present, in my sessions, if possible, not always possible. And heal without touch, because the person say no, no, it's I say, oh, can I, I'll just rub, wave my hand a little above it, like about 2.5 inches, above the area, and so forth, not going like in a very compromising position as well, right? Sometimes you have to use that. And also I'm on a master level energy healer, so I don't need to do that really. The need for taking your hand off is when you reach grandmaster level. When you grandmaster level, you touch the person will vibrate like he's getting electrocuted. It's a very unsavory, or dissatisfactory, uncomfortable experience. It's like you're getting electrocuted, and it's like you're vibrating whole body. The patient's body vibrates, and it's like upsetting to the patient. So you can't touch the patient because your power is too high. So then you have to do above, then it doesn't vibrate the body, right? You do like 2.5 inches above, and then you can, at that stage, you can even see, because you can see the energy level as well when you're in grandmaster level. And then you just wave your hand over that and you can see it. You can even see where's the blockages, on the grandmaster level. I'm not on the grandmaster level, but right. And then there is the amazing, I think the 21st century, this is the best method, is the telepathic method. And this is, I think, the easiest method from everything, right? From all, although it seems to be the most complicated, because people don't know the capacity and the power of the mind. Anyone can do it. You just have to learn a few methods, and in a very short space of time, we can train you, in balancing your energies and being able to transmit it telepathically. Show you how to do it. It's not, it's, I don't want to go through that now in this video, but that is the methods that I use, the telepathic methods. And I use the 2.5 inch very rarely. There is customers who don't want me to touch, and I don't touch. And then, but then I can also do touch. In the touch, there's also energy massage included. And I always add nutrition protocols. I recommend, but I know people today, and I'm thankful I've got the energy healing capacity, because very few people are able to follow the advice, to restrict the things that are harmful for them. Very few, less than 1%, maybe a fraction of a percentage, right? But I recommend that. And there are some who are disciplined, right? A rare few, fraction of a percentage. They follow it. It's to their advantage when they heal much quicker, much faster, and more efficiently. And also, it could mean the difference between healing and not healing, right? Because I mean, I'm not healing 100%. I've got a very high success rate, but it's not 100%, right? So it's better for you, and of course you will experience amazing health. People, the taste of food is better, and then also the um, your dietary choices, right? Be Make wise choices in your diet. Hope that information helps you. Take care of yourself.